On day 1, I spawned in as a little mouse. Ooh, look how cute and tiny I am. But uh-oh, I only have 1 heart. I've got to be careful. That's when I noticed that my hunger bar was half the size of a normal one too. Uh-oh, I guess I have a tiny stomach. I better hurry and start getting some supplies. Right away, I started punching trees so that I could get some wood. Using the wood I had collected, I put together a crafting table, then used that to make a wooden pickaxe, shovel, axe, and sword. I packed up my crafting table, then started to look for some food. That's when my hunger bar started dropping. I had to hurry. I soon saw a patch of berries. Oh, thank goodness, this is just what I was looking for. Suddenly, I heard a growl, and a giant grizzly bear came walking over. Oh, he's going to eat me. I gotta run. I ran and ran through the forest until I felt like I had gotten away. This forest was a dangerous place. Just then, I heard some squeaking up ahead. I soon saw a little mice family. Oh, hey guys, you're just like me. Is it okay if we stick together?
A new friend. Yeah, absolutely. Everything is easier when you stick together. My name is Remy.
Remy introduced me to the rest of his family. It was nice to have a group of friendly faces. He told me that they had a nice cave to live in, too. We headed over to the cave when suddenly a fox popped out and started to attack us. Oh no, I have to help my new family. Together, we did everything we could to fight off the fox. Luckily for me, our combined power was strong, and we took the fox down. Yeah, you won't be messing with us again. We then all went into the cave. It was small but cozy, the perfect place to settle for the night. I just hoped that tomorrow I could find some more food. Otherwise, I'm in big trouble. On day 2, I headed into the cave to get some coal. I was able to quickly find some and mined it out. I also grabbed some stone. Time for this mouse to get an upgrade. I put down my crafting table and used it to put together some stone tools. I also made some torches. I headed over to our cave and set up the torches. This should help keep the mobs away. My hunger was starting to drop again, so I decided to go out and look for some more food. As I ran through the forest, I could see something on the ground, but as I got closer, I could see it was just a flower. Man, where is all the food? I didn't have too much time to think about it though, as the grizzly bear from before showed up again. Oh, this guy again? I can't risk it with 1 heart. I had stone tools, but there was no way I could take him on. I soon arrived back at the cave to talk to my mouse friends. Have you guys been able to find any food? Everywhere I look is either empty or has a hungry bear.
You're not alone. We can't find anything either, but that's because of the humans.
The humans? What do you mean?
There's been a lot of humans coming through here, and they've been taking all of the food. It's been hard for us to find anything.
I felt really bad for them, and they agreed to try and go look for food. I wanted to do something to make them happy, so I went outside and gathered up some of the materials. Using everything I had collected, I started to fix up the cave. We might not have any food, but at least we could have some beds to sleep in. It's the best I could do, but I just wanted to say thank you for letting me stay here. I'm really starting to feel like I'm part of your family. On day 3, I woke up to a loud noise. There was a human in our cave! He had put my mouse family into bags, and I was next. Let them go! I had tried to hit him, but he nearly took me out. I had no choice but to run.
You can run, but I'm gonna find you eventually.
I kept running until the human was far behind me. What was I going to do now? How could this happen to my family? That guy was huge. But one day, I'm gonna be big and strong too. Mark my words. I'm gonna save my family from the humans. On days 4 to 5, I set off to find myself a new place to live. If I was going to get big and strong, I needed a safe place to sleep at night and store my gear. I soon found myself a nice cliffside and dug into the side of it. I wanted something cozy like the last cave, but I was gonna make it a little nicer. Time to get some building supplies. I headed out into the forest and gathered wood, as well as all the other materials I was going to need. This was going to be a classy rat's nest. I then got to work building all of the rooms. I decided to build something even bigger than what I needed, including rooms for other mice. I was determined to save my mouse family, and they were going to need a room when they came to live with me. Soon, the base was completed, and I decided to get some rest. In the middle of the night, I heard some noise outside. Uh-oh, I forgot to put out torches. I gotta take care of these zombies. I got right to work fighting off the zombies, but I had to be careful because I still only had 1 heart. Luckily for me, I was able to survive and took them all out. I better get those torches up quick. The next day, I headed outside to take a look around the area. What is that over there? I went down into the forest and soon came upon a small, half-built structure. Inside was another mouse. Hey, you're just like me.
Am I? Cause I'm looking real buff while you're just a skinny little guy. I'm not a mouse, I'm a vole. What are you doing out here?
My family was kidnapped by the humans, and I'm going to rescue them, but I'm worried about getting food first.
Boy, are you right about that. How am I supposed to keep to my all-protein diet with those humans taking all the food? They also got my family too. I think they're keeping them as pets.
Oh, these humans are ruining everything. Let's team up and take them down. Yeah, let's do it. 2 more voles had popped up from nearby. Whoa, where did you guys come from? I thought you were the only one.
Oh yeah, these are my brothers. They're around.
What's up, little guy? You look like you could use a protein shake. Thanks. Well, the more the merrier, I suppose. Come on, you guys should live at my base with me. Tomorrow we can figure out the food. The voles agreed, and we headed out. On days 6 to 8, I was wandering through the forest when I finally came across a berry bush, but it was empty. That's when I saw a raccoon taking off the last few berries. Oh hey, would you mind sparing a few berries? I haven't eaten in days.
Heh, that's just how it works out here, bud. Do I have enough to spare? Yeah, I do, but I guess I'm just a jerk. Sorry, not sorry.
I couldn't believe this guy. Well, you're right about one thing. You are a jerk. I had had enough. It was time to start fighting back. Give me those berries. I jumped into action and started fighting the raccoon. I caught him off guard. He didn't expect a little mouse like me to be this this strong, I managed to beat him in no time. As he disappeared, he dropped a bunch of berries. Finally, some food. I took a bite of the berries when I suddenly felt my strength begin to grow, and I leveled up. I had gotten even stronger, and now I have 4 hearts. Awesome. With my belly more full than before, I decided to head into a cave. Lucky for me, I found a whole bunch of iron. By using my pickaxe, I managed to mine a whole bunch of iron, enough to make myself all kinds of iron equipment. As I headed back toward the base, I also came across some sugarcane. Even more food. Today is just my lucky day. I managed to collect a decent amount of sugarcane when suddenly the grizzly bear appeared again. I'm not running away this time. I jumped into action, but it was a mistake. This bear was just way too strong. Okay, looks like I'm running away this time. Today was just not the day to beat a bear, but hey, at least I got some food. Back at the base, I started planting the sugarcane. If I could get some more ingredients, I'd have myself a nice food source. I can also use it to make books. I was hoping to build a library in the base. Once the sugarcane was all planted, I went back to my base and started smelting the iron ore I'd collected. With the iron ingots, I made myself a full set of iron armor, then made all of the tools I would need as well. I'm feeling much better already. I then decided to upgrade the base by adding in a library. I felt like the voles might like it. I just wanted to make sure they were comfortable and happy to be here. Hey guys, come check out the new library. The voles headed upstairs to take a look around.
Reading is for nerds, but even I gotta admit, this is a pretty nice looking place. Good going, Pipsqueak.
On days 9 to 10, I woke up to the voles coming into my room.
Bro, we're starving. We gotta do something about this food situation.
Good morning. I agree, but I feel like I've run out of places to look.
There is this one place, but only someone small and sneaky could go there, like you.
I could give it a go. Where is it?
There's a human farm near here, just full of stuff. If you can get in there and steal some of their food, we could start our own farm.
That sounds a little risky, but at this point, I'm not sure what choice I have. I'll do it. The voles told me where I needed to go, then I went and waited outside for nighttime. Once it was good and dark, I snuck down and soon saw the farm. These humans have so much food. Why are they taking everything from the forest? I quickly gathered as much food as I could. We were finally going to have a reliable food source. Once I had grabbed a good amount of food, I noticed a chest nearby. Inside was a box of hats. I wonder what this is all about. Just then, I heard a bark, and a dog came running over to me. Hey, why are you barking at me? Don't you know the humans are taking everyone's food? The dog stopped barking.
They're taking everyone's food? He's my best friend, but that doesn't seem like a very nice thing to do.
Suddenly, I heard a shout, and the farmer came running out.
Hey you, get on out of here.
I had no choice but to run away. Those humans were dangerous, and I would never rescue my family if they captured me too. After a bit of running, I made it back to my base. I threw some potatoes into the furnace and started making some beetroot soup. I also baked some bread. With all kinds of good food in my pockets, I headed over to the voles' room. I'm back, and look what I've got. I started tossing the food out, much to the voles' delight. We'd never have to be hungry again. After everyone had eaten, I showed them the hat box too. Everyone picked out their favorite hats and put them on. We were all pretty excited about it. The next day, I went outside and started working on a farm. Once it was all set up, I tilled the land and planted all the different plants. Finally, I could focus on my main mission of rescuing my family. On days 11 to 12, I woke up to the voles coming into my room again, but this time they weren't complaining. They were excited because they had something to show me. Apparently, it was a fancy statue. I went outside to take a look.
So, what do you think? We all worked really hard on it. It's a mouse, just like you.
Wow, guys, that is really nice. Thanks for making this for me. You know what could be really fun?
What's that?
Why don't we make one together? There's more than one of us here, so I think it just makes sense for there to be more than one statue.
Yeah, that sounds dope. But we don't really want to build another one, so you can make it. We can't wait to see it.
First off, I decided to go out and start collecting all the flowers I would need to make dye. I was going to find some sheep later, so I ran around getting everything I would need. Once I had gotten all the flowers I needed, I snuck back to the human's farm. I snuck upstairs and managed to grab some shears out of the chest. Then I went over to the sheep and dyed them all the different colors I would need. I had just collected a decent amount of wool when the farmer and dog came running out. Uh-oh, here they come again. I've got a bolt. The farmer shouted and the dog barked, but I was able to get out of there just in time. Back at the base, I got to work building the first part of the statue. It meant a lot to me that the voles had made me a statue, so I thought it'd be nice to make something too. I still needed some more supplies, so I stopped at the first part. On days 13 to 15, I was out exploring the woods when I came across a beehive. Oh, we could use some honey. This will be very helpful. I gathered it up and then saw another one, so I gathered the honey from there too. That's when I noticed a small house on top of the hill. A house that small must be for a mouse. I ran up the hill to find out. The door opened, and inside was a feeble old mouse.
Why, hello, dear. What brings you out to these parts?
Hi, I'm out gathering some supplies for my friends. I've got to search pretty far for special items since the humans are taking all of our resources.
Ah, those pesky humans. They're just the worst. It's high time the Mouse of Myth comes along.
The Mouse of Myth? Who's that?
Ah, have you not heard the story? Legend says that when the humans begin to ruin the Mouselands, a brave and mighty mouse will rise up, growing to be even bigger and stronger than the humans. That mouse will save all mousekind.
Really? Wow, that actually sounds a lot like the situation I'm going through right now.
Perhaps you are the Mouse of Myth then. Ever experienced sudden bursts of strength?
Once, but I think that was because I hadn't eaten in a few days. The Mouse of Myth sounds way stronger than me.
Well, the Mouse of Myth will be confident in himself, so perhaps it's not you after all.
Oh yeah, maybe not. We chatted a while longer, but all I could think about was the Mouse of Myth. I hoped that could be me, but maybe she was right. I didn't feel confident in it at all. I soon left to go back to my base. On days 16 to 19, I woke up to the voles coming into my room again.
Yo, Zozo, you've been proven to be pretty tough after all, so we had a favor to ask.
What's going on?
Some of our buddies got themselves into a bit of a situation, and we were hoping you could bail them out.
I'll see what I can do. Show me the way. I followed the voles out of the base and out across the land. They had soon led me into a dense jungle where we came across some squirrels stuck in a tree. There was a Tasmanian devil down at the bottom, and he wasn't letting them down. Out of the way, mister. I charged at the Tasmanian devil, and we started to fight. Why won't you leave those poor squirrels alone? The voles cheered me on as we continued to fight. This little guy was intense, but I was quick and took him out in no time.
Bro, nice one.
The vole called up to his squirrel friends to let them know it was safe, and they came down to chat.
Yo, that was sick! We thought we were never gonna get out of that tree.
No worries, guys. I'm just glad we could help. Say, if you want, you should come live at our base with us. There's a lot of dangerous creatures out here.
Gnarly, bruh. We'd love to live there with you guys.
Just then, I felt strength coming to me, and I grew in size, and I've gained even more hearts than before.
Dude, nice gains. I didn't know a mouse could beef up like that.
Soon we all left and headed back to the base. I had grown in size again. Maybe I could be the Mouse of Myth. I'd have to figure that out another day. Back at the base, I got right to work building the squirrels a place to live. I started with some steps and a ladder, then got to work making them a treehouse. I figured they would be happiest living in a tree, so I made it the best I could. Then I filled the inside with all the comforts they could need. Soon, I was done. I really hope they like it here. On days 20 to 22, I got woken up again, but this time, it wasn't by the voles. What is that sound? I ran outside and saw the base was surrounded by zombies. But where had all of the torches gone? I couldn't worry about that now though. I had some zombies to take care of. I ran down the hill and quickly attacked them. They weren't super tough, so I was able to defeat them quickly. Alright, I gotta figure out what happened. But just then, another group of zombies came over the hill. More of them? Oh brother. I started swinging my sword and was able to take a few more of them out. But how many more were there going to be? I don't know if I can fight them off forever. It was close, but I managed to finish them off. Okay, enough of that. I better get more torches. But then, even more zombies came over the hill, and this time, they were covered in iron armor. What is going on? I kept swinging my sword and was getting hits in, but these guys were way tougher with their armor. It was starting to look a little close, but I finally fought them all off. Oh, I can't fight anymore. Hopefully that's it. But it wasn't it. More iron-wearing zombies came over the hill, and this time, they had skeletons with them. Uh-oh, I don't think I can survive this. I started to fight them off, but it was too hard. I ran under the statue for cover, but I was surrounded. Just then, the voles came charging out of the base and attacked the zombies.
Hang on, Zozo. We're here to help.
With our combined power, we were able to start fighting back and start taking out the bad guys. Even the squirrels got into the fight. At long last, the zombies were finally defeated. This time, no more zombies or skeletons came over the hill. Soon, we were back in the base. Thanks, guys. I thought I was a goner.
We thought we ought to help you out for once.
I'm sure glad you did. We've got to figure out what happened to our torches, though. Otherwise, we'll be in big trouble.
Oh, right. We might know something about that.
The voles explained that they had taken all of the torches and put them in the library. Apparently, it was too dark for them to see what they were reading.
It turns out, reading is actually pretty dope, but we didn't think about the zombies. My bad, homie.
I told them it was okay and got to work setting up some new torches outside. We'll have to try and make even better defenses tomorrow. On days 23 to 26, I left my base to go and gather some more supplies. Our base had nearly been taken over last night, and we needed some serious upgrades. First, I dug up a bunch of clay. I was going to make bricks, so I needed to grab as much clay as I could. I then brought it back to my base, where I began smelting it into bricks. Before I started working on the wall, though, I decided to build a nice walkway down to the farm. It was going to be much better than having to get wet every time we needed to get a bite to eat. With the new bridge complete, I then got to work on the new walls. There were some natural mountains around the entrance to our base, but I thought it'd be smart to plug up the gaps with some walls. After all, a wall is no good if someone can just walk right through it. Once the walls are finished, my next project was building a guard tower. If we had something nice and tall, we'd be able to keep a close eye out for any more zombies, or even worse, humans. It took a bit, but the tower was soon complete too. As I was admiring the build from the courtyard, one of the squirrels came outside to meet me.
Hey man, nice building. You're really good at this.
Thanks. I just want us to be as safe as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm actually a pretty good cook. If you wouldn't mind building me a kitchen, I'd be happy to make food for everyone.
Oh, that's a great idea. Before I started on the kitchen though, I first grabbed some food from the farm. There was no point in building a kitchen if there's no food to store in it. With all the food in my pockets, I headed inside and got to work on the kitchen. I made sure to set up everything he needed and filled the pantry with all of the food. I couldn't wait to see what he'd made. mistake. Later that night, I was up in the tower to see how well our defenses worked. I could see a big group of zombies outside of the gate, but they had no chance of getting in. I'd call that a success. Now I just had to hope nothing bigger would stop by. On days 27 to 31, I was keeping watch from the tower when the bear from earlier showed up. This guy again? I'm so sick of him always trying to ruin my day. I ran down and headed outside the gate. You've tried to take my food too many times. I'm not letting you in here. The bear just laughed and let out a roar. He wasn't much of the talking type, but he was still a jerk. Just then, he charged. The bear was still really strong, but this time, I wasn't going to run away or back down. I was stronger, and he was going to have the fight of his life. With my sword in hand, I swung as hard as I could, knocking him back. He let out a roar, but it was too late. I hit him with the final blow, and he was defeated.
Well, aren't you just the toughest little mouse I've ever seen?
I looked up at a nearby tree and saw a crane looking down at me. Oh man, you have no idea. That bear has been trying to finish me off for days. I just couldn't let him win.
Well, it's not every day you see a mouse beating a bear. Have you ever considered joining a fighting league? All of the toughest animals around are in ours, and you'd be perfect.
Oh, I appreciate the offer, but I can't. I'm on a quest to save my family, not become the ultimate mouse champion.
Ah, but you don't understand. This will help you. By showing your bravery, you can inspire the crowd who want to help in your cause. Not to mention, you can earn some serious money by winning fights. Money that could help you.
Okay. I guess there's no harm in checking it out. Where do I need to go? The crane told me where to go, and I said I would head over there after preparing a little bit. He thanked me and took off. Later that day, I was deep in a cave looking for resources. If I was going to win any fights, I needed the best gear I could get. That's when I noticed there were tons of diamonds in this cave. I mined out as many as I could. This was just what I needed. With my pockets overflowing with diamonds, I headed out of the cave. Back at the base, I got right to crafting, making myself a full set of diamond armor, a helmet, boots, leggings, and a chest plate. I then used them to make a pickaxe, shovel, axe, and sword. There's no way I'm gonna lose any fights now. On days 32 to 35, I made my way to the location the crane had told me about. Standing outside the entrance was the crane.
Good evening, sir. I'm so thrilled you could make it. You've got quite the challenger tonight, but I think you will do splendidly.
Okay, I'm all ready to fight, so bring it on. The crane motioned for me to enter, and I headed in. The arena was brightly lit, or at least the fighting area was. I could hear a crowd in the darkness though, so I knew the place was packed. As I stood in the arena, I saw a gate open at the other end. It looked like my challenger was a Shiba Inu. I could take this guy. A bell rang and the fight was on. The Shiba was tough, but so was I. As we fought, the crowd cheered. As we both landed blows, they oohed and awed. They seemed like they were really into it. If I can win this fight, all the animals watching will be able to help me rescue my family. I've got to win. The Shiba Inu put up a good fight, but with my new weapons and armor, there was really no contest. I soon defeated him, and the crowd went wild. As they cheered, a bunch of emeralds started dropping into the arena, as well as XP points. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these emeralds, but I'm sure I can figure something out. This is awesome. Just then, a bunch of lapis and obsidian dropped in as well. Excited, I ran around picking up my rewards as the crowd continued to cheer. I gave one final wave to the crowd, then headed back down and out of the arena to meet with the crane.
Congratulations. I just knew you could win.
Thanks, that was actually a lot of fun. I think all the animals were really excited for me too.
Oh yes, the crowd loved you. Please, feel free to come back soon. I'm sure the crowd was very inspired by you.
I thanked the crane for inviting me and ran back toward my base. I made a stop by the sheep farm first though and grabbed a bunch of dyed wool. I was going to need this for the statue. Back at the base, I took the wool I'd collected and got to work on the next part. I kept going until I ran out of wool again. I couldn't wait to see what it would look like when I was done. On days 36 to 39, I was exploring a nearby acacia forest when I saw something strange in the distance. Is that a mouse? She's really beating that wolf up. The mouse soon defeated the wolf, and I hurried over to talk to her. Whoa, nice moves! That was super impressive.
Thanks. I thought I was the only big strong mouse out here, but I see I'm not the only one. My name is Bella.
My name's Zozo. There's actually a whole group of us living just back over the mountains. You should come live at our base with us.
Are you sure? I don't want to intrude.
Oh no, it would be great. We could train together and everything. I feel like I could learn a lot from you.
Well, alright. Show me the way.
We headed off back in the direction of the base. Once we arrived, I got right to work making her room. It was going to be awesome having such a tough mouse around. Soon, her room was complete. On days 40 to 43, I met Bella in the kitchen.
Hey Zozo, I'm going to go out and train. Do you want to come with?
That would be awesome. You can teach me all of your moves.
Right on. Just give me a second.
Bella went over to the crafting table and made herself a new purple hat. It was really cool. She was then ready to go, so we headed out. Back in the acacia forest, I watched as Bella took on a whole pack of wolves. I couldn't believe she wasn't even scared. The wolves were fighting their hardest, but Bella wasn't even breaking a sweat. Soon, she had defeated all of the wolves.
Zozo, why don't you hop in on this next one?
Another pack of wolves charged at us, and I hopped in.
I've got a tip for you. Instead of just hitting, jump into the air and hit them as you're coming down. You'll do even more damage than normal.
I gave it a try and she was right. I tried it on as many wolves as I could, and together we defeated them all, no problem. Later we were taking a break when I had a question to ask her. So, how come you train so hard? What makes you want to fight so much?
That's a good question. I wasn't always like this, but one day I met an old mouse woman in the middle of nowhere. She told me this story about a mouse who could grow in size and was really strong. I had been fighting mobs just before then and had grown in size a little myself. That was when I realized I had to be the one in the legend. I had to be the mouse of myth.
Really? I think I met the same mouse. I heard the exact same story. I couldn't believe that I might be the mouse of myth though.
Well, that makes sense though, because you're not. I knew without a doubt the legend was about me, and so I've dedicated myself to training in order to fulfill my destiny. You really thought you were the mouse of myth? That's cute. Come on, I'll race you back to the base.
Bella took off, but I couldn't help feeling a little disappointed. I mean, she was really talented, so it did make sense, but I was really starting to believe I might be the mouse of myth. We'd just have to see how everything played out. On days 44 to 49, I decided to get some more work done on the statue. I had collected a decent amount of materials for my last raid, so I got quite a bit done. I was even able to do the tail, which I thought turned out pretty good. I was taking a moment to look at how things had gone so far when the voles came running out.
Zozo, come quick! There's a human at the gate, and he's asking for you.
A human? You guys keep an eye out from above. This could mean trouble. I ran over to the gates, and sure enough, there was a human on the other side. But this human was dressed like a mailman. What do you want, human?
Don't you worry, little rat. I'm not here to cause you any trouble, yet. I'm here with a message from all of us humans.
What could you thugs have to say to me?
We wrote it all down, but watch out. We know about your little base out here. We've seen you and your friends training too. We could destroy all of you if we wanted to, but we'll let it slide on one condition.
Yeah? And what's that?
Stop messing with our farms and stealing from us. Otherwise you and all your little rodents can say goodbye.
Okay, I'll agree to that on one condition. You let my mouse family and all other animals go.
They didn't tell me you had a sense of humor, but seriously, knock it off or we'll knock you out.
The human turned and walked off. Who do these humans think they are? It's time to teach them a real lesson. On days 50 to 53, Bella and I snuck up to the sheep farm I had been visiting, but this time I saw they had built a huge wall around it. Looks like we inspired them to up their security, but I think I know how to beat that. Bella pulled out her shovel.
Shovel?
Shovel. Bella and I got right to work building a tunnel. I had been here enough times to know just where I needed to go to pop out under the sheep pen. We tunneled our way through and popped up right underneath them.
Holy sheep, where did you two come from?
Whoa, I didn't know you guys could talk. Sorry for dyeing you different colors and stealing your wool.
Are you serious? You're the only one who has been cutting our wool, and it's hot out here. You're doing us a favor.
Oh, well that's great to hear. You guys wouldn't happen to want to live at my base, would you?
We thought you'd never ask. The humans are the worst.
We all jumped into the tunnel and ran back out from under the wall. This was going to make the humans so mad. It was perfect. Back at the base, I got right to work building the sheep a nice farmhouse to live in. They didn't even have a roof over their heads before. This was going to be much better. Now we just needed to sit back and see how the humans would react. On days 54 to 57, I was down in the mines gathering some more materials. The humans would probably want to attack me at some point, so I needed to make some upgrades. Once I had collected everything I needed in the mines, I headed upstairs and went over to the crafting table. Using the obsidian I had gotten from the arena, I managed to put together an enchanting table. Time to really upgrade my gear. I went into the library and cleared out a space for the enchanting table. I surrounded the room with bookshelves and placed the table at the center of the room. Then I went through all of my gear and gave them different enchantments to make them stronger. I'm gonna be one tough mouse to beat now. I then went outside and got to work on the next part of the statue. This time it was all about the details, starting with a torch in its left hand. Then I got to work on a sword for the right hand. This was my favorite part of the build for sure. This statue is looking great. On days 58 to 62, I decided to make some more improvements to the base, starting with the bridge. I took down some of what I had done before, then began adding in some new railings and overhangs. As a final touch, I added in some hanging lanterns. Speaking of lanterns, I thought they looked quite a bit nicer than torches, so I went around the base and replaced all the torches with lanterns. I also added a doorbell. The least any invading human can do is ring the bell first. I then headed inside and cleared out a wall and added a window. Inside, I put some cushions and bookshelves to make a sitting room. The voles were really getting into their books, so I thought they'd enjoy the space. Later that evening, I was lounging in the sitting room with Bella.
I've just got to tell you, Zozo, you're a really great friend. To me, the voles, everyone you meet. And plus, this base looks amazing.
Thanks, Bella. That means a lot coming from you. On days 63 to 66, I heard someone ringing the doorbell and went out to take a look. Perched outside was the crane.
Good morning, sir. It would seem your next challenger is ready. He'll be even tougher than before, but the crowd has been begging to see you in action again. I think you really made an impression on them.
Okay, great. I'll be there. Later on, I was back at the arena. The gate opened and I stepped into the ring. The crowd was still in darkness, but they sounded excited to see me. Across the arena, I saw a honey badger had stepped in to face me. We squared off, and as soon as the bell was rung, we leapt into action. The crane was right. This honey badger was way stronger than my last fight, and his claws were really hurting. Sorry, but I've got a family to fight for. I thought about everything Bella had told me about and tried to put it into action. Once I started landing the more powerful blows, I could tell it was only a matter of time. Soon, the badger was defeated. The crowd went wild. I did it! Like before, emeralds started to drop from the ceiling, followed by some lapis, netherite ingots, and health potions. There was also a mythical potion, which said it could only be used by a mythical hero. Huh, I wonder what this is about. It's supposed to taste like bananas too. I bet a monkey of legend would be into this. Just then, I noticed there were two small honey badgers crying on the other side of one of the gates. Hey, that wasn't your dad, was it?
No, our real dad was taken away by humans long ago, but that badger you just fought had agreed to take us in. He just needed to win the fight to get the resources to take care of us.
Oh wow, I'm so sorry. I had no idea he was also fighting for her family.
It's okay, he knew the risks. We know that you're just trying to rescue your family from the humans too. We're just tired of them ruining all of our lives.
You know what? Why don't you two come live in my base with me? There's all kinds of animals there who would love to be your family.
Wow, that would be amazing.
The two little badgers followed me back to our base. They were excited to finally have a place to call home. I went ahead and dug out a room for them to stay too. Who knows how long these two little guys had been looking for a home. On days 67 to 70, I headed out of the base. Things were really starting to come along. Where is everyone? I walked out and saw the voles were outside harvesting some wheat, but Bella was out there giving them commands. What is she doing? I headed down to talk to her. Hey, what are you doing? Telling everyone what to do.
Oh hey Zozo, I figured that since I was the Mouse of Myth, I should probably be the one calling the shots around here.
I don't really know why you keep saying you're the Mouse of Myth. There's not really any proof. For all you know, it's me.
Oh yeah? Well, if you were the Mouse of Myth, you'd already have the Frost Slayer sword.
The what?
Yeah, see? You don't even know what it is. Part of the legend is that the Mouse of Myth is able to get it from the Great Northern Tundra.
Well, you don't have it either. In fact, I'm going to get it right now.
Oh yeah? Not if I get it first.
Bella and I took off for the Great Northern Tundra. I would show her. We soon arrived, and boy was it cold. We were both so worried about getting there first, we ran right into a pack of polar bears. Uh-oh, we both fought hard to stay alive, but it was clear we couldn't fight them off fighting on our own. We changed our strategy and saw that by working together, we were able to take them all out. Oh, Bella, what are we doing? We're going to get ourselves into some serious trouble if we don't work together.
You're right. We're being really hasty. How about this? We both work together to get the sword. Once we get there, we can just see who the sword chooses. It's not really up to us who the Mouse of Myth is, anyway.
Exactly. All right, let's go get that sword. On day 71 to 74, Bella and I continued deeper into the tundra. As we traveled through the ice spikes, we soon came across a dungeon. This must be the place. No matter what happens, we'll still be friends. Deal?
Deal.
Bella and I ran down the stairs and into the dungeon. It's full of water. How are we going to get through? Just then, we noticed some levers at the top of the stairs.
These must control the platforms down there. Here, you go down and I'll work these levers.
I ran down by the water as Bella started flipping switches. After hitting the first one, a platform came out of the wall. I jumped over to it. Bella continued hitting the switches and more platforms came out of the wall. I had some close calls jumping between them, but eventually I made it to the next passageway. Hang on a second, there's a lever in here. Let me hit it and see what it does. I flipped the switch and a shortcut opened up for Bella. She hopped down.
Nice hopping. Let's see what else is in here.
We kept going down the hallway when suddenly a bunch of poison snowballs came flying out of the wall, hitting us. Ouch, those really hurt. There was a small passageway, so we ducked through there to heal up.
Zozo, I have to be honest with you.
What is it?
I know I'm really confident all the time, but the truth is, I'm not sure if I'm actually the Mouse of Myth. The old mouse woman had just told me a story so specific, I felt like it had to be me.
Yeah, it was the same thing for me. But you know what we haven't considered yet?
What's that?
Maybe she was just making the whole thing up to trick mice like us to take on the humans.
You know what? You're probably right. As if we didn't have enough reason to want to fight them. I guess we'll find out soon enough anyway.
I agreed. That's when I noticed something odd about the box we were next to. Hey, is there something in this? We looked inside and saw there was a fancy new helmet inside. My diamond helmet was still in good shape, so I let Bella take it. We decided to keep pushing on and ran out into the snowballs. We took some hits, but made it through. We soon entered a big room that was full of bad guys. We sprang into action, fighting them off. Some of them cast magic spells that dropped explosive ice blocks on us. They were really tough, but nothing could break the power of our friendship. We quickly cleared the room. I think this might be the last room up ahead. Let's finish this together. On day 75 to 78, we stepped into a large room where a snow troll was standing in the center of the room. But look what he was standing in front of. The Frost Slayer, I can see it.
Let's get that troll out of our way.
Bella and I sprinted in, swinging our weapons as hard as we could. This guy was unbelievably strong. His blows did a lot of damage, and no matter how hard we hit him, it seemed like he wasn't even hurt. This guy is crazy. I don't know if we can beat him. Our health was dropping fast too. Maybe neither of us was the Mouse of Myth, and it was all going to end here. But just then, I had an idea. Bella, follow my lead. Hey, Dum-Dum, over here! We took off running, and he followed us over by one of the support pillars. He swung his stone column at me, but I jumped out of the way, causing him to hit the support pillar. There was a crack, and suddenly, the whole pillar fell over, smashing the troll.
Zozo, that was brilliant. Go on, you can grab the sword first.
I stepped up and took a hold of the sword. Suddenly, nothing happened. It was just a normal sword. There's nothing special about this sword. Here, I tossed the sword over to Bella, who picked it up.
You're right, this is just like holding any other sword. That legend must not be true. Otherwise, only one of us could have held this.
True, or maybe it's just about anyone. No one is born the Mouse of Myth. You become it by trying. Suddenly, there was a rumbling sound, and the roof started to cave in. Without the support column, we were all in danger. We ran as fast as we could and made it out of the room just in time. On days 79 to 84, we had made it back to the base and settled back in for the night. The next day, I had a lot of work to do. I started by doubling the size of our farm so everyone would have plenty to eat. Then I got busy putting in a path around it. This was going to be much easier to navigate. Then I went over and put together an archery range for the squirrels. They had been really helpful when the zombies had attacked, so I wanted to give them an even better training ground. Nice shooting, guys. If humans show up here, they aren't going to know what hit them. The Volts had also mentioned to me how they were reading all about gardening and wanted to try their hand at maintaining a garden. So I put in a small garden for them to manage as well.
Yeah, we better get the pruners out. These roses are already looking a little wild. And keep a close eye on those poppies. I'd hate to see them fall to the weeds.
With so many animals around, the outdoors were starting to get a little untidy, so I made a small storage shack for us to stash all of our odds and ends. Part of these improvements was also getting a better space for us to improve our weapons and armor, so I built a smithy area for us to do everything we needed to do. I thought it turned out pretty nice. With the new smithy, I took some time to fix up all of my diamond gear, as Bella fired up the blast furnace to make improvements to her equipment too. Then I headed inside to the smithing table, where I used all of the netherite I had won in the arena to upgrade my diamond gear to netherite. Then I brought the new gear over to the enchanting table, where I enchanted all of my netherite equipment. I'm going to be one unstoppable mouse now! And finally, our last project was upgrading our walls, which the Voles offered to help with. At this point, our humble little rat base was becoming a full-on castle. We gave the walls major upgrades and even built a large tower. On days 85 to 89, the Vole came running into my room with a warning.
Zozo, the humans are outside the walls. Come quickly.
I hurried and ran to the walls and could see a small army of humans were preparing to charge, but the squirrels were in position and ready to fire. Hold steady, guys. Here they come. The humans began to charge as the squirrels unleashed their arrows. Their training had paid off, and they were deadly shots. Several humans fell as they ran toward the base. It's working! The humans had lost many of their soldiers and started to run away. Yeah, nice job, everyone. They aren't tough at all. What I didn't realize was that this was just a decoy. A powerful warrior had scaled the mountain behind us and jumped into our base. What was that? I turned and saw a warrior standing in the courtyard. He said nothing as he stared up at me. Charge! I leapt into action, swinging my sword. But if there was anything I had learned, it was that friends are stronger together. Bella came running out of the base, followed by the Voles. The squirrels started shooting arrows down as well. Even with our combined power, though, it was quite the fight. Keep going, everyone. We can defeat this guy. The warrior was strong, and his armor was hard to crack. Eventually, we managed to knock him over the cliff as he landed in the water. We kept on him, and I swung my new Frostslayer sword with all my might. At long last, he was finally defeated. We did it. The humans will never take our land, and they certainly won't take our freedom. Suddenly, I felt strength coming into me, and I leveled up, gaining 8 more hearts. We will never be conquered. On days 90 to 94, I ran into Bella in the lobby, but she looked really sad. Bella, what's wrong? I thought you'd be excited after our successful fight.
I am excited about our win, but I'm just really down about this Mouse of Myth stuff. I mean, I dedicated my entire life believing I was fulfilling my destiny, but it's looking more like it was all a lie.
You know what? I think we should go talk to that old mouse woman. Even if it's all a lie, you can at least be at peace, knowing the truth. Bella agreed, and we headed out. We soon arrived back at the old woman's house. I told Bella to stay back while I knocked on the door. As the old woman came out, she was excited to see me.
Oh, look who it is. Could it be our very own Mouse of Myth?
Cut it, lady. We came here to find out the truth.
We?
Just then, Bella jumped up, which caught the old woman by surprise.
We? Why did you tell both of us the same legend? Is there a Mouse of Myth or not? Oh, no. Okay. The truth. The truth is that I made it all up.
Why would you do that? That lie nearly destroyed our friendship.
Oh, I'm sorry. I never would have wanted that. The humans have been messing with mice for decades, and no one ever seemed brave enough to stand up to them. I just thought if I made up a story, I might be able to inspire someone to actually do it. They took my family years ago, and I've always wanted revenge.
Well, I suppose there are worse things to lie about. We do want to teach them a lesson, and are actually strong enough to do something about it after all. Bella agreed, and we had a nice chat with the old woman about her family. She sounded lonely living out here, so I invited her to stay at the base with us. She agreed, but on one condition. We had to rebuild her house exactly the same. I took some time to take down her house so that we'd have all the right pieces. Then later, back at the base, I reconstructed it so it would be exactly how it was before. She was delighted to have a familiar but safe place to stay. On days 95 to 97, I walked out of the base to see the crane waiting for me.
Oh, good morning again, sir. I know you've got your hands full, but your next challenger is ready for you. The crowd has said that they wish to see you fight fight once more. I'm sure they will make it worth your while.
Well, one more round of upgrades before we fight the humans would be nice. Okay, I'll do it. The crane nodded before flying up and away. Later that day, I arrived back at the arena entrance, ready for my fight. I entered in and headed back into the arena. As the gate opened on the other side, I was shocked to see who it was. Bella, what are you doing here?
It's okay, Zozo. We don't have to fight to the death. I've been doing these fights too so that I can train. Come on, it'll be a fun training exercise. We can see who is actually the strongest.
Well, alright. I don't know if the crowd will like it, but obviously I don't want either of us to be eliminated.
Of course not. Bring it on.
Bella and I charged at each other. We weren't planning on taking each other out, but neither of us were holding back. The crowd was going absolutely crazy. Bella, is this too much? Maybe we should stop.
No, listen to them. They're loving it. We've got to give them a good show if we want them to still pay out at the end.
It didn't feel right to me, but we kept fighting on. Bella was such an amazing fighter, but she had taught me all of her moves. I landed a really hard hit, and Bella backed off.
Oh, okay. I think we need to stop there. Nice hit, Zozo.
Yeah, of course. You really had me on the ropes. Once the crowd realized what was happening, they started to boo. I could hear the crane's voice coming from the stands.
Zozo, what are you waiting for? Finish her off!
What? No, she's my friend.
Fine, but people came here expecting a finale, and I'm going to give it to them.
Just then, the crane dropped in from the darkness, finishing off Bella. What have you done? The animals watching are going to support me against you.
You mean these animals?
I looked at the balcony and saw that the crowd had stepped closer, revealing themselves to be humans. I couldn't believe the crane had been working for them this whole time. I could feel my blood beginning to boil, and in my rage, I grew into a large, ferocious rat. You're gonna pay for that! I charged at the crane, hitting him again and again, defeating him in no time. I could hear the humans laughing as one of them shouted for the guards. The gate opened and a bunch of human guards came running in. Get out of my way! The guards thought they could stop my rampage, but I was way too angry. I swung my sword with all my might and quickly took them all out. I could tell the humans watching were starting to get nervous. Don't think that you're getting away either. With my new strength, I jumped from the arena into the balcony and started to attack. They didn't realize who they were messing with. I managed to take several of them out as they tried to run away. Enough is enough. I've got to end this. I jumped back into the arena and ran out of the building. On day 98, I had made it back to my base, and my rage had turned to sadness. I couldn't believe Bella was gone. As I looked at the statue, I wanted to do something nice to remember her. Atop the mouse statue, I took some time to add the same hat that Bella had worn when we first met. She had always said it was one of her favorites. That night, I was looking at the statue when suddenly Bella appeared in front of me.
Zozo, thank you for dedicating this statue to me. I want you to know that everything is okay.
But it was never supposed to be like this. We were supposed to take down the humans together.
I know, but the truth is, I don't think you need me. I spent a lot of time thinking about the Mouse of Myth. The old woman may have made it up, but in doing so, she also made it come true. You have become the Mouse of Myth, and I'm so proud to have been your friend.
I shed a tear and thanked her for everything she had taught me. I felt like it was finally time to fulfill my destiny. It was time to save my family and the world. On day 99, I met with all of my friends in our base. Okay guys, it's time. If any of you want to stay behind, you can. No one will hold it against you. No one said a word. They were ready to fight. Very well, get geared up. We attack at nightfall. Before leaving, I ran over to the chest and grabbed the mythical potion, as well as the health potions I had gotten earlier. The team regrouped in the lobby, and we headed out for the humans' base. On my way out, I paused to look at the mouse statue. I could feel Bella was with us. We soon reached the gates to the humans' town, but how are we going to get in?
Don't worry, guys. I know just what to do.
The Vole slipped through a small hole in the side of the guard tower, popping out inside of the base. He ran over to the lever and flipped it, letting us all in. Nice going! Let's get him! We stormed into the base, running into a couple of humans. All together, we took them out with ease. Off in the distance, I could see the farmer. This time, he was geared up to fight.
There they are, Bosco. Take them out. Bosco?
Bosco attacked his owner, taking him out. Then he ran over to us.
You've had me thinking more than I have in my whole life. These humans have been so mean to other animals, and I can't be part of it. I'm here to help.
With Bosco now on our team, we charged into the streets. There were several humans geared up to fight, but they weren't ready for us. We all unleashed our attacks, knocking them out of our way. Keep going, guys, we're doing great! We kept fighting through the streets and soon came upon a mansion in the middle of town. This had to be where my family was being kept. We charged the doors and quickly took out the guards. But how are we going to get in?
Hang on, folks. I'll get us in there somehow.
The Vole started sniffing around and soon found another hole on the side of the building. He crawled through, dropping into a library maze.
Good thing I got into reading. I just have to follow the titles back to A, and then I'll be back at the front.
Using the authors as his guide, the Vole wove through the maze until he noticed a hole.
Nice, a shortcut.
He popped out and flipped the switch, letting us all inside. Just then, there was a sound in the town, and we could see the whole army was coming for us.
Quick, Zozo, go. We can hold them off.
Yeah, man, your family needs you.
You guys are the best. I will see you soon. I ran into the basement as the rest of my friends stayed back. As I entered the basement, I could see it was filled with animals, including my mouse family. Remy, it's me. We've got to get you guys out of here.
Zozo, I can't believe it. Look how big and strong you are.
Just then, I heard the gate slam and hurried back up the stairs.
Well, if it isn't the rat that got away, I should have captured you when I had the chance.
You are just the worst. No monologues. I jumped into action, swinging my sword. Where had all my friends gone? Did he hurt them? I didn't have too long to think about it though, as he was really starting to hurt me. My health was dropping, and so my only option was to run away and heal up.
What's wrong? Too afraid to fight?
I had just gotten my health restored when the human caught up to me.
I was going to keep you as a pet, but something like you is too powerful to be kept alive.
We kept fighting, but I was starting to lose hope. He was too strong. I hurried and ran up the stairs to the roof to heal some more, hiding around the corner.
Come out, little mousy. I just want to talk.
This human had been the cause of so many problems. He had destroyed and captured so many of my friends. He was going to pay. I took out the mythical potion. If I'm truly the Mouse of Myth, this will help me. I drank the potion down and felt a powerful surge of energy. I gained more hearts and felt even stronger than before. It had worked. It was time to end this.
What the? How can a little rat become so powerful? What is this?
This is what happens when you mess with a guy's friends, his family, his world. The human had backed up against the edge.
No, okay, surely we can work something out.
Nope, it's over. I lunged forward and knocked him off the roof, sending him falling to the ground below. He's gone, but where are my friends? On day 100, I heard a shout as all of my friends came running over the bridge. It turned out they had pushed the soldiers all the way back into the town and defeated them. I made my way back into the dungeon and finally released my family, along with all the other animals. We laughed and we cried. It had been too long. Back at the base, everyone celebrated. Even all the way from Mousy Heaven, I felt like I could hear Bella jumping for joy. Our fight was finally over.